Citizenship in India. If you require any assistance regarding learning any topic of any subject or domain, please feel free to contact us. Let's begin by asking a basic question. Who is a citizen of India? So anybody who is a full member of Indian state and who owes allegiance to Indian state can be called a citizen of India. So what are the benefits of being a citizen? So a citizen will be entitled to all the civil and political rights of a country. So that's the benefit of being a citizen. Citizenship in India is dealt through the Constitution of India as well as the Citizenship Act of 1955. Let's go into the Constitution of India first. Article 5 to Article 11 of the Constitution, that is Part 2 of the Constitution, deals with citizenship in India. However, the Constitution does not have detailed provisions or elaborate provisions in this regard. It only identifies the persons who become citizen of India at its commencement. That is, the Constitution speaks about those people or those citizens on 26 January 1950. However, Article 11 of the Constitution gives Parliament the authority to make laws on citizenship. And based on this authority derived from Article 11, Parliament has created a law called Citizenship Act of 1955. This is a comprehensive act which includes details like acquisition of citizenship, laws of citizenship, as well as concepts like single citizenship and terms like overseas citizenship of India and things like that. So it's a comprehensive act which deals with almost all aspects of Indian citizenship. Now let's take into all these concepts one by one. Let's go first into the acquisition of citizenship in India. How do you acquire Indian citizenship? How do you get Indian citizenship? So you can acquire Indian citizenship through various means like birth. That is, by being born to India or by being born in India, you can acquire Indian citizenship. Similarly, you can get citizenship through descent, that is through your parents. So by being born to Indian parents, you can get Indian citizenship even if you are not born in India. Even if you are born in any foreign country, you can get citizenship through your parents also. Third one is regarding registration. You can be an Indian citizen through registering with Government of India as a citizen. And the fourth way of acquiring citizenship is through naturalization. That is, by staying in India for a prescribed period of time, you can get Indian citizenship. And the final one is incorporation of territory. You can acquire citizenship when Government of India acquires or incorporates a foreign territory to itself. So when government makes such an incorporation, all the residents of that erstwhile foreign territory will become Indian citizens. So let us learn all these methods in details. Prior to that, please understand that these three methods, that is birth, descent and registration, are somehow related. So they are available to people with some relation with India. That is, this first one, that is by birth, is available to people who are born to India. By descent is available to people who is having Indian parents. And registration is available to people who have some relation with India, like you are having Indian ancestors or you are being married to an Indian citizen and things like that. So these three methods of acquiring citizenship is available to only such people who is having some sort of relation with India. And the last two, naturalization as well as incorporation of territory, are available to totally foreigners. So let's learn each of these one in detail. How do you acquire citizenship through birth, by birth? The Citizenship Act has been changing over years. That is, it had experienced many amendments. So as a result of that, laws regarding citizenship is not same throughout the year or throughout the decades. So if you are considering this example, case 1, let's see this particular timeline. That is, if you are born between 26 January 1950 and 1st July 1987, you are a citizen of India, irrespective of the nationality of your parents. So this kid has been born in India. So between the date of 26 January 1950 and 1st July 1987. So if he is born within this timeline in India, he will get Indian citizenship for sure, irrespective of the nationality of his or her parents. So that's the first case. But in 1987, the law got amended. The Citizenship Act got amended to add an extra provision like this. Case 2. That is, if you are born after 1987, that is, if you are born between 1st July 1987 and 3rd December 2004, you require either of your parents to be an Indian to get Indian citizenship. That is, despite you are being born in India, you are not automatically getting Indian citizenship. So earlier, before 1987, it was the case. That is, earlier, before 1987, you can get Indian citizenship if you are born in India. But now, after 1987, you require either of your parents, that is either father or mother, to be an Indian. Again, this law was amended in 2004. This law, that is Citizenship Act, was amended in 2004, and you are having a new provision regarding that is case 3. If you are born on or after 3rd December 2004, you require either of your parents should be an Indian. That was the previous case. Along with that, an additional provision, an extra provision was added. That is, other parent should not be an illegal migrant. So if you are considering this case, you are having a kid here, he was born in India, and he have a father who is Indian citizen, but his mother is an illegal migrant. So if this is the case, he will not get Indian citizenship. So he satisfies two conditions for being an Indian citizen. That is, he is born in India and he has a father who is an Indian. But he fails when it comes to this condition. That is, his mother or one of the parent is an illegal migrant. So that is the situation. So if she was not an illegal migrant, he is suitable for Indian citizenship. So that's all about citizenship by birth. And this is the present situation. So this has not experienced any amendments after this. So born on or after 3rd December 2004. Now let's go into the citizenship by descent. How do you get Indian citizenship if you are born outside India to Indian parents? Let's see how that happens. Here also we are having multiple cases due to various amendments to the Act. So the very first case is that you are born between 26 January 1950 and 10th December 1992 outside India. So citizenship by birth is for people who are born in India, and by descent is for people who are born outside India to Indian parents. So if you are born between these two dates, and if your father is an Indian citizen at the time of your birth, you will get Indian citizenship. So if you are considering this example, this kid is being born in United States of America, say, and his father is an Indian citizen. So he is eligible for Indian citizenship. So this is the condition. You are having the kid, he is born outside India and he is having an Indian father. So this is the situation till 1992. So this law got amended, or this provision got amended in 1992. So if you notice the thing that this law is having gender discrimination. So the law says you should have an Indian father. What about mother? So it is silent about mother. So if you are having an Indian mother, then you are not eligible for Indian citizenship. So that is against Article 15, which did not permit any discrimination based on gender, and also it is not gender neutral. So to bring that gender neutrality, this provision was amended in 1982 to make it gender neutral. So you are born outside India between 10th December 1992 and 3rd December 2004, you can get Indian citizenship if either of your parents are Indian citizens. So that is making it gender neutral. So if the same kid is born now after 1992, so he can get, or he is eligible for Indian citizenship if either of his parents, that is either father or mother, is an Indian citizen. So now this is ready. So if this kid is having an Indian mother too, he can get Indian citizenship. Now that's all. That is a case and regarding this particular date or this particular timeline. So in December 2004, the law got again amended. This law, that is Citizenship Act, was amended, and this provision regarding citizenship through descent was also amended in that to make it like this. So you are born outside India, either of the parents should be citizen of India, and this was made extra. So his or her birth should be registered with Indian consulate within 1 year of birth. So this is an extra addition of 2004 amendment. So you should register. So not just born outside India and having Indian parents, you should be, or your birth should be registered with Indian consulate within 1 year of birth. So this is the present situation on or after December 3rd, 2004. So that's all about birth and descent. Now we can also get citizenship through registration, that is by registering with Government of India. Who all can register with Government of India? That is not open for all. You cannot, not everybody can register and get citizenship. So there is certain restrictions for that. Only certain people can register with Government of India to attain citizenship. So these are people like persons of Indian origin, that is people having some Indian ancestors, either grandmother, father, anybody, husband or whatever it is. So if people are having some Indian ancestors, you can acquire Indian citizenship through registration. The second people who can acquire citizenship through registration are people married to citizen of India. So if a foreigner gets married to an Indian citizen, he or she can acquire Indian citizenship through registration. Third group of people, or third category of people are minor children of Indian citizens. So if the children are not Indian citizens, so for example, if we are considering an Indian citizen who is living in abroad and their kid is having citizenship of a foreign country, so that kid who is having a foreign citizenship can register with Government of India and become Indian citizen. That's regarding minor children and people like person of full age of who either of his parents were a citizen of India, that is past. So here it is present, that is Indian citizens are there. But if the person of full age or who either of his parents were a citizen of India, they can also get Indian citizenship through registration. And the last one are overseas citizen of India. So overseas citizen of India are people are related to people of Indian origin. We will discuss both these concepts, that is PIO as well as OC8, that is overseas citizen of India, by the end of this session. And please note the fact that this facility of registration is not available to illegal migrants. This is quite important. So illegal migrants cannot acquire Indian citizenship through registration. Now the next one, the fourth one, is regarding naturalization. How do you become Indian citizen? By naturalization. It means that you should stay in India for a certain period of time. That's naturalization. A foreigner staying in India and getting naturalized as Indian citizen. That's called naturalization. So it is intended to give citizenship to foreigners provided they meet certain condition, and that certain condition is staying in India for a prescribed period of time. So you should note the fact which I have already mentioned, that this is available to totally foreigners. So if you are considering the first three, by birth, by descent and by registration, you can see that those people are somehow related to India. So if you are going back to registration, you can see these people are somehow related to India, OCA or PIO or married children. So if you can see here, married people, persons married. So in all these cases, you can see that these people are somehow related to India. They are not totally foreigners. They are having some Indian element in them. So similarly, birth, they are being born in India and they require their parents to be Indians, as well as if you are considering the descent also, you can see the requirement that you require either of your parents to be Indian. So in all these cases, you can see there is some relation with India. But here, when it comes to naturalization, you can see they are totally foreigners. So this is the method of citizenship to foreigners, naturalization. So you should note here another important information, that this method of naturalization is also not available to illegal migrants. So hope everyone knows the recent controversy regarding Citizenship Amendment Act of 2019. So using that particular amendment, so this CAA or Citizenship Amendment Act is nothing but an amendment to this Citizenship Act of 1955. So what did the Parliament do here? Parliament made an amendment here. That is, if you are considering this provision of naturalization, you can see here that it is not available to illegal migrant. So the government wanted to make this naturalization provision available to certain section of illegal migrants. So who are those section? So illegal migrants from Pakistan, Bangladesh and Afghanistan, belonging to the 6 religious categories, that is Hindu, Sikh, Christian, Buddhist, Jains as Parsis. So people who are belonging to this, or illegal migrants who are belonging to these 6 religious communities coming from these 3 countries, Pakistan, Afghanistan and Bangladesh, they should be given an exemption to this provision. So, to be more precise, so when CAA is passed, all these 6 communities, despite being illegal migrants, they can get Indian citizenship through naturalization. So that was the amendment. So we should notice here the fact that it is not available to Muslims. To be more precise, this is a Muslim filter. So the law says that everybody except Muslims, or every illegal migrant except Muslim illegal migrants can get Indian citizenship through naturalization, provided they come from these 3 countries. So that is the reason why it violates the principle of secularism and equality. So that's why we are having lots of protests against this CAA. So it's also in the court, and we will make a detailed session on this Citizenship Amendment Act and his legality, constitutionality and various other dimensions. So now let's go into the next one. That is, here is an example of a person who has acquired citizenship through naturalization recently. That is Adnan Sami. He's from Pakistan. He's a Pakistani singer who has recently got Indian citizenship through naturalization. He has been staying in India for a while. And now going to next one, that is through incorporation of territory. How can you acquire, or how can you get Indian citizenship through incorporation of a foreign territory? So what do you mean by incorporation of foreign territory? The government of India is incorporating a foreign territory to its territory. So that's what you call incorporation. So when this foreign territory becomes part of India, the government of India will specify who among people of the territory shall be the citizen of India. The government will specify. So if you are considering the example of Goa, so Goa was not a part of Indian territory. Goa was an erstwhile Portuguese colony. It became Indian territory only in 1961. So when that was done, when this Goa was made an Indian territory, all the people or all the residents of Goa were made Indian citizens. They got Indian citizenship. Similarly, there was an exchange of enclaves between Bangladesh and India recently. A few years back, there was such an exchange. That is, certain Bangladeshi enclaves. There were certain Bangladeshi enclaves within India, and there were certain Indian enclaves within Bangladesh. So they were exchanged, and the citizens were also exchanged. So people who were erstwhile, people who were part of Bangladesh prior to this exchange were now made Indian citizens. So that's also through incorporation of territory. So that's all about acquiring Indian citizenship. So we have already learned acquiring Indian citizenship through birth, descent, registration, naturalization, as well as incorporation of territory. Now let's see how you lose your citizenship. How can you lose your Indian citizenship? There are mainly 3 ways of losing Indian citizenship. There are 3 ways. The very first one is through renunciation. You can lose your citizenship through renunciation. That is, you are yourself cancelling your citizenship. You are yourself renunciating your Indian citizenship. For example, if you are going to migrate to a foreign country, you can of course renunciate your Indian citizenship. Similarly, the second one is regarding termination. The state is terminating your citizenship. So it's an automatic termination. That is, if you are acquiring a foreign citizenship, when you acquire a foreign citizenship, your Indian citizenship will get automatically terminated. That is termination. And the last one, or the last way of losing your citizenship, is through deprivation. So that is done by the state. The state will deprive you of your citizenship. So this is not done arbitrarily. It should be done based on law. It should be done based on some law. For example, if you are not staying in India, or if you are staying outside India for 7 years continuously, your citizenship can be deprived. Similarly, if you have shown disloyalty to the Constitution of India too, your citizenship can be deprived. And also there are many more other provisions like that. If a citizen is unlawfully trading or communicating with enemies during a war, in that case also your citizenship can be deprived by the government. So it's based on government action. This one is also based on government action. The government will terminate your citizenship the government will deprive your citizenship. So this is because of acquiring a foreign citizenship. This is because of doing something against the nation. And similarly, this is for a voluntary. This is a voluntary method of losing your citizenship. And that's all about losing citizenship. We have now already learned about acquiring or acquisition as well as loss of citizenship. Now let's understand few terms like single citizenship. That is what I mean by single citizenship. So India provides only for single citizenship. There is no double citizenship. What does that mean? That is, there is no separate citizenship for states. To understand that in detail, you can just go into the United States of America. So if you are going to US, you can see or you can observe the fact that there are two citizenship in United States. One is for the whole country and other is for the states. For example, if you are considering California, if you are going to state of California, a resident of California may be having two citizenship or two citizenship cards. One is for the nation, that is, he will be a citizen of United States of America, and there will be another citizenship card or identity card that is for California, that is, he is a citizen of California state 2. So that's all about double citizenship or double citizenship of United States of America. Now if you are coming back to India, there is no such provision. So you are having only one citizenship, and that is for the entire country. There are no citizenship or separate citizenship for Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, or whatever it is. So there is only single citizenship in India. And finally, we can just look into the terms like NRI, person of Indian origin, overseas citizen of India, and things like that. So all these terms are somehow related with citizenship. So let's deal with each of these terms. Let's go into the concept of non-resident of India or NRI. What do you mean by NRI? So NRI is basically an Indian citizen. So he is a citizen of India, but he is residing outside India. So that is a NRI. So if you are considering Indian diaspora are people who are working outside India. They are Indian citizens only, but they are working outside. So this is a world map showing presence of Indian diaspora all over the world. So you can see Middle East, Africa, US. So each of these countries are having lots and lots of Indians. So they are Indian citizens only, but they are staying outside India. So they are called non-resident Indians. Now let's go into the next term, that is person of Indian origin. So as the name denotes, these are people who is having some Indian origin. That is some Indian origin. He is not a citizen of India. Please note the fact that he is not a citizen of India. Anyway, Indian citizens will be having Indian origin only. There is no confusion regarding that. So this PIO is not at all a citizen of India, but he is having either he or his ancestors was a citizen of India. That is, for example, if a person is cancelling or is renunciating his citizenship and going to some other country and he is acquiring a citizenship in that country, so you can call him as an Indian origin because he was a citizen of India. And also, if you are considering certain people who is not a citizen of India, but his father or his grandfather was a citizen of India, so such people are also called person of Indian origin. They are having some Indian origin in them. So if you are considering Sundar Pichai, so he is presently not an Indian citizen. He is presently a US citizen, but he was an Indian citizen. So he is working in US and he has acquired citizenship of the country which he works. But in past he was an Indian citizen. So you can call him a person of Indian origin because he was a citizen of India. And he's having Indian origin. So that's about person of Indian origin. Now let's go into the concept of overseas citizen of India. What do you mean by overseas citizen of India? So this is immigration status. So this is an immigration status permitting a foreign citizen of an Indian origin to live and work in Republic of India indefinitely. So this is somehow related to PIO. So earlier there were two schemes. PIO scheme or PIO card as well as OCI card or Overseas Citizen of India scheme or card. So this was recently merged to become a single scheme or single card. Now we are having only single card. So this is an immigration status. So if a person of Indian origin, presently this is a status, that is, if a person of Indian origin want to live and work in India, so he can get Overseas Citizen of India card and he can work in India or stay in India indefinitely. So you will be also entitled to certain rights that are available to citizens. So that you are getting, or you are becoming more close to becoming a citizen of India. You are getting more close to citizen of India. So these are people who are not having Indian citizenship, but they are having some Indian origin in them. Foreign citizen of Indian origin. That's all about overseas citizen of India. And thanks for watching us. This is all about citizenship in India.